Hey everybody, we're back doing a little field work. We're cutting wheatledge, so I'm working on a field now in my new to me machine. We finally replaced the one that got wrecked last year by a hired guy. So we upgraded a model to a 9980, so we got the next generation. Still has the older generation head. It's got the updated gearbox, but it doesn't have the upgraded auger system in it and all that fun stuff. So it still runs. If you're familiar with the Massey heads, it's still running the little helper roller. But it doesn't have the beefy stub augers in it. So yeah, and this has a tripler under it instead of a DWA. It's got the TWA. So we're running 3 windrows into one. This stuff is pretty wet, or it's pretty green. So it's gonna wilt this afternoon, and they'll be chopping on it in the morning. So I'm actually running a day ahead of the chopper right now, or at least 12 hours ahead of the chopper, something like that. Look, there's a stock tank. For those of you who don't know, my last machine was run into one of those, because why not? And yeah, so now it's kind of a little joke that everyone gives me heck over, and I just kind of got to laugh about it. But the circle I'm working on is it's a 500 acre circle, so it's a half miler. And if you don't know, that means from right here to the center of the tower, or to the center of the pivot, is a half mile. So it's a mile all the way across this thing. And it just fits in a section of land, covers 500 acres. But yeah, this stuff's pretty short. It's not bad. It makes some great hay. But I mean, we're running all out in first gear. I could run faster, but the other side of this field is super up and down and side to side like this, and I'm having trouble with my guidance, staying on the line, because I'm running, and I may have to put a little more float into my head. That way my head will pick up a little bit, and I'm not pushing my head, and I don't start sliding. So yeah, I might have to do that, or else I think I could honestly kick it up a gear and run faster. I don't want to get too far ahead of the chopper, because like I said, this stuff is short, so I don't want to get too terribly ahead of them and then have a bunch of dried out wheat. But I think they'll catch me pretty quick. For the most part, this field's pretty rough until you get to it's not too rough until you get to the field roads and the washouts. So I pick my head up, I pick my belt up, then oh man, I was making a video right before this one, and I hit a prairie dog hole, or not a prairie dog, a coyote hole. I didn't see it, but they had bermed it up, and my head hit it, and that's one thing. I like the sand. I like cutting in the sand because it's pretty. The fields are really smooth, and you don't end up with the big pivot tracks, and that's super nice. But the amount of coyote dens you'll find out in one of these fields like this is just mind-blowing. Versus another field, you just won't find them in another field. It's just this is so soft, and I mean they got all the hunting and nice cool ground. I mean it's a perfect place for a home. But it's not great for hitting them with a swather or badger dens, stuff like that. Everything likes to burrow out here, but So that's what's going on. A little bit about the machine. It's used. It's got 2,000 hours on it. It's not as new as I'd like for it to be, but woo! For the price point, I'm not going to complain. You know, if we can get some, I got a kid coming to run in it this afternoon, and if I can get him kind of where he's doing really good at it, it'll be great. It needs a lot of work, this machine does. It was supposed to get done before it was delivered to me, but I don't know, whatever the reason was, it wasn't done, so it's going to go back after we're done with wheatledge. And it's getting new conditioner rolls, it needs a new helper roll. It's got quite a few leaks, you know, here and there, but it's also a 2,000 hour machine with a merger under it, so I'm not surprised by it. But it's going to have a lot of stuff fixed on it, so now once that happens, it ought to be just pretty slick machine. It ought to last me a long time. It's comfortable. It's really comfortable. The cab is crazy comfortable. But so yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I thought I'd just shoot this little deal, and I didn't rage quit halfway through this video like I did the first one. So it's a good deal. I'll get this posted up and catch you in the comments. So we'll see you around.